Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the quad planning for the package team. And we are going to start today with Tim.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, we have a few items on the agenda today since we're nearing the end of milestone 14.3 and about to start 14.4. I thought I would just put out a few questions. So the first, are there any issues in 14.3 that are likely to slip? And Ugo had the first note here, and I could just vocalize for him since he's not here. He's been working on this issue 30475 related to the create push package events. And there is one MR that's close to merging, but there's several other that may slip. So this issue will need to move back to 14.4. I'll probably make it a stretch goal rather than a P1, but I'll make sure that I move it after this meeting. And then Sophia, you had the next item.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that for the refactoring of the authentication tokens that we use on our package manager tests, basically, since doing this from an iteration point of view, so for each package manager, there's an MR, and we don't have that many reviewers in quality. This was not possible to do for all the package managers. So we have a little bit of a review and merge cycle here. So it was done just for the higher priority, and by higher I mean the most used package managers, so Maven, Nugget, and NPM. And for the others, I would just basically create a follow-up issue, just because this is labeled as a deliverable, and yeah, and we just were able to deliver the high use case.
Okay, cool. So the action item is to create a follow-up issue for the less popular formats. And I think there might be other issues I'd prefer to schedule for 14.4, because I think we have some Debian work and some other things that we have on the calendar, but it'll be good to have those in the backlog. Okay, thanks. I could follow up on that after this. And on to the container registry, and Haley, you had an item here about issue 26.
Yeah, it's scheduled for this milestone, but it's not a priority. It's refactoring. It's being done outside of the team right now, but we could probably bump it ahead a couple of milestones. Honestly, it's ongoing work.
So maybe like 14.5 or 14.6. See how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it 14.6.
Okay. Thanks. And Steve, you mentioned TTL policies for the dependency proxy, and I think I've already moved that to 14.4.
Cool.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, 14.3 is looking like an awesome milestone. Great work, everyone. We got a lot of things in, which are really cool. Great job. So I tried to get. I did the plan for 14.4, and then first note is here, any questions or concerns, and Sophia, you had the first item.
Yeah, so basically we have an online garbage collection tool that is running in pre-prod, and I was just under the impression that it's just going to stay in pre-prod running because we have some different settings. And so I was just clarifying if we would need to have it running in staging, but João already answered. João, do you want to vocalize?
Yeah, it's only for pre-prod because it depends on custom configurations on the registry side. The only thing that is missing, I think, is promoting that test to stable and link it to the deployment pipeline. And I pasted a link of the latest iteration on this subject. Yeah, so that's when we last discussed that.
Yeah, and I agree, and it actually is going to be very simple to promote it, to have it running in the deployment pipeline, because it just needs a little meta tag in the test. So yeah, Tim.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we'll need an issue for that, or if it and then should we schedule it for this milestone?
I think just for transparency's sake, let's just put in an issue and have it. It's going to be minimal effort, but it's better to just have something in there.
Can you open that one and just tag me on it? That would be great. Thanks. Okay, great. So then if there's no other questions or concerns, and we could go through the milestone if we have time, but I did want to call out the subject of things that we didn't prioritize, which always hurts a little bit because it'd be nice to work on everything, but looking at the milestones already pretty full. So I didn't pull in any work for Debian or Ruby Gems. It just felt like with the focus on performance and reliability and tuning some of the existing features, that it felt not right to bring in new breadth to the product. Is any strong disagreements on that? I know, David, we wanted to work on DB in this milestone, but I tried to push it back to next milestone.
I just had a comment. I was just curious if any of those should be considered stretch for 14.4, and most specifically, like, do any of them take higher priority than the stretch goals that are currently listed in that issue? Like, especially ones that might take a while where, like, as a stretch, we can get started on it or something to that extent.
Well, last milestone, I promised that I wouldn't add more than like 3 stretch items because it seemed to get a little ridiculous. And actually what ends up happening is those items end up slipping and I have to end up moving them anyway. And so it's not helpful for the community to put things into a stretch goal if we know we're not going to have space. So I would say if we can get through these issues and there's time left for on the back end Ruby side to get to those, we could totally pull them in, but I'd rather not pull them in advance because then otherwise I have to like let people down afterwards.
Cool. That makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the other things that would be nice to get to that we have done work on, but we aren't ready yet is the updating the dependency proxy to work more generically. I just with moving it to Workhorse and we're adding in these policies, so that the generic stuff will have to wait until we're a little bit further along. I really wanted to get that move the NPM to Workhorse in. I was thinking that maybe we could just have like create sort of a layout for what we want to do and coordinate with the create team. So the next milestone we're ready to bring it in. And then maybe that's like something that we could add as a stretch goal, kind of a technical investigation, I guess. And then yeah, extracting and present at least I know that presenting the NPM data is a multi-step process, but I tried to schedule the extraction portion, but it just didn't seem to fit with the rest of the milestones. So that's gonna get pushed back a bit. Nico, you had the next question.
Yeah, so it seems to me that the refactor of the dependency proxy to Vue is a blocker for some other issues. And I don't know if should we schedule it sooner than later or whatnot.
I'd love to schedule that one. I thought that we had to get through the moving the dependency proxy settings under packages and registry settings first. But can we? If I could schedule the dependency proxy conversion to Vue, I would, if you're okay with that.
I don't think they block each other.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I'll verify it on the issue description. But I don't think they block each other.
In that case, I think we should plan it because I would love to start thinking about. We've just added the API, so it'd be great to start adding that information. Okay. I'll schedule that if you're okay with it. Okay, and Joao, you have a couple of items to add as well. Next item.
Yeah, I just dropped a last minute request to schedule one more issue for the container registry. And then about reliability and performance. We can also schedule the implementation for that for caching tags on the group level API, and I'll link the issue. So David suggested using that issue for the implementation part. So I think we can schedule it.
That'll be an awesome change. Yeah, thank you. I'll schedule the former one you mentioned, and then we'll see if we can get the poor query performance for 14.5 or 14.6. If we solve that, if we use that solution, will we still want to do the breaking change for 15.0? We still want to break it into 2 separate calls.
Yeah, definitely.
So we probably need to start putting that into the release post and planned deprecations, just letting people know that it's going to happen. We don't have an issue yet for splitting the API into 2 functions yet, right?
We have, I can find it and link it here.
That would be great. And then I'll just make sure that we start to mention that in planned deprecations. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any other items on the agenda. One thing that comes to mind when I was just speaking about deprecations, I just wanted to remind myself out loud in front of everyone. We have to add a service build bulletin for the dependency proxy change that went out in 14.2. The permissions change that happened. So I'll just make sure that that gets done as part of the deprecation notice I add this milestone. Okay, I think that was the agenda. I think we're all, and if there's nothing else, I think we're all good. Michelle's on mute, I think.
Yeah, I'm muted. Sorry. Okay, then thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.